Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I hope that your day is going well. We have a guest artist in the studio today. This is Abbey, and she is one of our most talented painters that we have. She's amazing, and she has got a technique that's for backgrounds that you are going to dig, and you can do it in all these colors. It's amazing. She's incredible, you guys. You're gonna want to bookmark this. You want to go find it on YouTube. To see it again, you're gonna want to know. I want to know because I've been waiting for a lesson on this for a long time, so I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. And
get it on camera so I can learn it.
Yes, and our good buddy Steve, Steve's at home today, and he says, "Hey,
hey, Steve, hey, can I make some loud noises for your earphones, Steve?"
we were a little late getting started today. I bet Steve was like, "What
is going on?"
We miss you, Steve.
Oh my, yes.
Okay,
so this is Carrie.
So this is Carrie, this is Patty, and that's Abbey. And welcome. This is StudioR12 Stencils. We go live every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Yep. And we show you painting, stenciling, crafting, DIY tips, tricks, tutorials, all the things. We answer your questions. We give things away.
Lots of giveaways.
We do lots of great things. So a couple things real quick before we get started.
She calls this housekeeping. I think that she's wrong.
I think we need to find another word for it.
It's don't like how you say housekeeping, Carrie.
My backup thing had a bad word in it, so we're just we'll work on this. We'll work on the title for this.
Yeah, we get tagged every now and again if you say the word poop or something like that on Amazon listings or things like that. They'll be like, "Ooh, you're not good," and I'm like, "Oh, sorry, it was on."
That's mild. Yeah. So be sure that you are subscribing over on our YouTube channel. You're watching us live here on Facebook, but we also post these on YouTube, so you could be catching us live on YouTube or as a replay on YouTube.
Can I add a thing on the YouTube thing? On the YouTube thing, we have been working this last week on making playlists, really succinct playlists. They are like specific technique. So Tall Porch Signs has its own playlist. There's other specialty. I'm trying to think of what they all are. I've done like so many this week. I can't even think of them all.
We have a spattering one coming up.
Yeah, because we've got like 5 or 6 different spattering videos. So if you want to know specific techniques, Abby's will be under a specialty technique, and that'll be with the rest of our lives. But it'll be mixed in with the specialty playlist.
There's a special techniques playlist that.
And the neat thing about that is, if you want to know something about like Tall Porch Signs, you can just watch each one of them. And then make sure when you're there, if you're on YouTube, give us thumbs ups. That's the easy way to just like say to YouTube, this content is valid. That just validates us. So that's always love validation. Give us some hearts, But so that just gives us that. And then if you really love the content, make sure you subscribe and then ring that bell, and that will give you notifications when we have new content.
Right, and we upload new tutorials every Saturday morning, very early, so
6 a.m. or
6:30 when you get up to have your coffee.
It's there for you.
You can watch it. Last week on YouTube, the Hello Summer Tall Porch Sign. We just wrapped up an entire month of Tall Porch Sign tutorials. So this was our last one for the month. And then this week coming up, one of my favorite things I've ever done is
This is so pretty in person, you guys. It's hard maybe to see it on camera, but this is a foil border. We have, how many borders do we have? Like 26.
Well, this actually came on the stencil.
It came on the stencil. Okay, but we also have these individually.
Yes, and I'll share the link for those, but we do have several. So we're going to talk about base coating. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do a rustic background, and then the honeycomb is a separate stencil, and then we have the gold foil, and then I also show you how to glitter on the honeycomb. So we have lots of really cool things.
So many techniques. It's amazing.
Yes.
So, okay.
We have giveaways for this week. Be sure to like, comment, and share to be entered to win the giveaways. We have some things to give away today, and then we will announce our grand prize winner tomorrow. Grand prize winner is getting a set of dome brushes.
Dome brushes are the best. If you guys love the dome brushes, make sure that you comment in below, because your comments, and on YouTube and on Facebook, so either or, your comments help teach other people what works. So it's not just about like, oh, I just want to comment because like I want fame and notoriety. No, your commenting will tell Patty Painter that you, or Party Painter, because that's what my cell phone, Party Painter, that will tell Party Painter that you really love these and that they really work. So that's a magic thing about it's almost like Amazon, what do you call the things when they say like, I like this thing?
Yeah.
Reviews.
Yes.
Yeah, the reviews. So it's exactly like that, but you're doing it in the comments instead of as a review. So
Right.
it's a really powerful thing for other artists and other painters.
And then we're also going to give away a polyfoam brush. We talk about these a lot. We break them a lot so we can
Tear them apart a lot.
So we can show you why this
Do we
is so great.
have a yucky one down here?
I think we're about out of junk ones.
I think we're out of junk.
We're gonna have to go buy more junk ones.
No, these are a different brand.
Super junk ones that we're showing to say please.
The floppy ones are the ones we're talking about. These,
Right.
when you push on these, they are super stiff, so they don't like flop over. Like I almost can't make it flop. The other ones are just like, hello, I'm not really a foam brush. But the difference is, and can I tear one apart? Let me show you the difference. Oh, I can't compare it for you, but this one has seen its better days. But when I tear this one apart, it's really even hard to tear apart.
Well, and one of the reasons
So
that
durable.
I put this in today is because we use them for base coating all of our projects.
Everything.
We don't know what you guys are base coating with,
Yeah.
but we're gonna send one so that you can try it out.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you use a brush to base coat, you really are flopping the paint around unless you're using something super bristly, and then you're bristling the paint around. So when you're bristling the paint around, it's not spreading, it's gouging a little bit. This will make it very smooth, but this is why these are special. The other ones of these that are floppy, this wood does not go up into the foamy head, and then this plastic is not as stiff, it's super like flexible. So this brush is way better than the others because if you go to any dollar type store, they're gonna have the ones that aren't, and just test them. Maybe they are great. Test it and try to bend it in your hand through the plastic and it'll do a good job. So I'm gonna
throw that away. And then I have I'm gonna go ahead and announce a giveaway winner.
Woohoo!
Our first
Who's
giveaway
getting it?
is going to Angie Schwartz. And Angie is getting a Believe stencil and
Nice.
a welcome stencil. So Angie, we will message you and get your address.
Yay, Angie,
and we'll send it out
congratulations.
to you.
That's so amazing. So, Abby,
Yes.
let's talk about what we've got going on here and what you're going to teach us today.
Well, I'm going to show you how I did my galaxy backgrounds.
Okay. And then you can show this camera and you can show that camera. Yeah.
Here's those guys.
So as Abby's getting ready
this?
to talk about her galaxy background, so
Yep.
Abby and I were teamed up when we worked at our little boutique together,
Yep.
and she, taught me all the painting and all the stuff, and we got these Zodiac stencils, and so we have a stencil
them.
for
Look
all
at
the
it.
Zodiac signs.
Yeah.
We've got
And Abby and I were
here.
talking about how we were going to paint these, and we just give her free range to do what she wants.
'Cause
she
she's
has these great
amazing.
ideas. And then she's like, "So I have this idea," and she started doing all this research, and I mean, she just nailed it, out of the park with the galaxy. And then I'll let her talk about when she starts working on it. There's special colors, there's special, it is like a research project. And that's why we wanted to bring her on to talk about this, because every time we do a live, we have to research what we do.
Yeah.
Every
We never
video.
give you the whole story.
Yeah, this isn't we just don't come to work and be like, oh, I'm gonna paint this summer thing. Boop. No, it takes a day, 2 days a week.
Can I throw in here? I gotta say, so the reason that we're so good at researching the things is this girl. How long did you work at the news station?
Almost 10 years.
10 years. So 10 years of being the behind the scenes news station, helping the people make sure they had their ducks in a row. This girl right here is amazing. So she whips us into shape, and we will do the research and we will get it done by gum,
But thank you. And yes, that is very
Ta-da!
true.
Yeah.
But it's we want to make make sure that you
Yes.
guys see that we also
Everybody
do
give Carrie a heart.
all that. Thank you. I'm going to need more drinks. But we do so much research when it comes to these projects, and especially this one is probably one of our most heartfelt.
Yeah, Abby has taken this and just gone crazy.
I spent
with
about 2 weeks worth of research on each.
and you're just digging through pages and pages
Everything.
of information and stuff
Yes.
like that. And then they absolutely the depth of it. And then she did it. And then she and I talked about it a little bit. And it was like, ooh, if you tried these techniques. And then I threw my thing. And then she made it completely her own. and now I get to learn
how I did it.
Yeah. All right. So let's get started.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any questions before we start?
Not any that I can handle.
If you guys want to let us know what's in your tumbler today, Abbey, I think, is water.
I'm water.
She's getting married,
So I have to move. So
she's got
I'm
things
good.
going on. So yeah, she's so excited, and her makeup. She's been doing her makeup and practicing all that, and I think her eyes are stunning today. I think she's nailed it.
you.
Beautiful. So anyway, so let's go on.
All right. So when I started doing this, I initially was just going to do black with gold. And then I thought that was really boring.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's really cool. Galaxies. And we
idea.
had never done galaxies before.
Yeah.
So I did all this research on how to do it. And then I realized every Zodiac has...
That's right.
Color.
They all have their own colors, and
They all have their own colors.
Yeah.
So then I got really deep into the Google.
Be like, okay, what's the spiritual meaning of each one, right? You went all the way down the rabbit hole.
I went into the rabbit
Yeah.
hole and learned way, probably not enough, but a lot. And
I love it.
so I went with each one of our designs. I painted every single one of them.
So all 12.
All 12, and they all the colors on those are represented by the colors of that zodiac.
Yeah. And what is this? This one is Leo.
This is Leo. So golds, mainly gold warm tones
Gotcha.
and stuff like that, like browns which threw me off because I myself am a Leo and I never knew that brown tones were a
I don't know
thing.
what mine is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, and then what are you gonna show us today?
I'm going to do a Sagittarius background. It was my favorite one that I did
Love it.
next to Scorpio.
Yeah.
So I figured, hey, why not do one of my favorite ones?
Love it.
Yeah, and so I just shared the link to the Zodiac signs, and I believe all of the painted samples are on that page, so you can actually see how
See the
Abby
different
painted
colors.
them.
Yes.
Abby, Barb wants to know how long have you been working with the company?
Gosh,
It's been
is it 5?
5 years.
5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here 5 years.
Yeah, she has done about every single. For those of you who want to meet a magical person, this girl right here has done everything. I think
Just about
almost
Just
every
about
single thing.
everything.
Yeah, so just an amazing. She's run the machines. She has perfected running the machines. She can etch wood like nobody's business. She knows things inside and out about all the things, and then took to the painting. I think probably about pandemic time, maybe.
Yes.
And
I did a little bit before that.
yeah,
But
you
when-
like embraced it, and
Yes.
then. Guys, when you see some of the most beautiful things that are sampled on our website, it's either going to be Elaine or Abigail right here, and they both are doing such magical things. I do good work, and Carrie does good work as well, but they got it going on.
They do.
Yeah.
And you guys, some of you have already done some of this. If you know your Zodiac sign, put it in the comments.
Oh, that's so good.
And Miss Peyton, so you guys saw pictures of Peyton when we were in Atlanta. Peyton's on today watching.
Awesome.
YouTube.
Hi, Peyton.
Hi, Peyton.
Peyton, don't you wish you were here?
Sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Peyton.
Okay. Peyton.
Peyton. You guys, Peyton is a Bengals. Is it Bengals, right? Okay,
Yes.
Bengals. I'm not a football girl. Peyton's a Bengals girl, and she posted here.
Yeah.
Or here.
We're on this main camera.
Sorry.
Okay, on Carrie's camera. Okay, we got 3
Patty
cameras
camera.
in here.
Patty camera.
Patty camera.
The front one. That one. Yes,
Wow.
that one.
Right there.
Hello. Anyway, Peyton, I don't know if you can share that, Peyton, or not, but your little girl picture of you with your brother.
So cute.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, it was adorable. And
I was
she's
like, oh
just
my
like a
God.
miniature version of herself.
Yes.
I've never seen that so much. Okay,
Amazing.
Abby, we'll get out of here.
No, you're fine.
So cute.
So when I did the research, I noticed a lot of the technique was watercolor, and I'm not very good at watercolor at all.
Same.
So I started going deeper into how can I do watercolor without it being watercolor. And I found out if you do a wet of anything, you can wet it down, make it look better. And wetter, not better. Wetter.
Better water, better.
Yes.
Yeah, that. What's in your cup?
Water, sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
Not
the same.
I just can't talk. It would give you that kind of
That
water.
diffused,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I started looking more into what I could do to make that, and I remembered we had sponges,
Yeah.
and that we offer natural sponges, and I was like, I wonder if that would work, and it did.
Let's see it.
So all I do is usually I spray, but when I do these, I take it and just straight let it soak in and wet it, and I kind of get all of it out. It doesn't have to be too wet. It's kind of like in the middle, like just wring it out, and then
Kind of like a good
what's there.
dampness.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And you will get dirty, so if you don't like that,
If you have an expensive manicure,
Yes.
wear gloves.
wear gloves. So whenever I do this, I will dab just a little bit, and I dab to the side a little bit just to get some extra off. You can always dab back into that later.
Pull you over here real quick. Yeah. So they
Do
can
what
see
you
that.
gotta
Can you
do.
see that, Rusty?
Am I good?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Show them that step right there
So-
just one more time.
I dab over here, and then I will dab myself off over here.
Just like if you're doing
You can
using
almost
a dough
already
brush.
see what's going to be
Yes.
happening. Yeah.
And I don't do a lot of pressure, and I also did research on how galaxies look.
Ooh,
Just
that's so cool.
So each one of these I researched was a galaxy design or photo taken in space. So that was another thing I researched. So I'm just going to do a random one that I actually looked up this morning just for this. So I just kind of go all over, and you build up to it to get your layers.
I think that that's the most interesting thing about this technique is you're going to build one layer on top of each other.
Yes.
And I think that that's important to know. And what I love about layering when I'm layering is you can go backwards a step and you can put more on top. If it's really terrible and you just don't like it, the next layer might fix it.
Usually.
Yeah.
Especially with these, it really does help.
Yeah, and then when I'm looking at this, you're connecting. Basically, you're
Yes.
making these things all kind of touch each other, right?
Yes.
The little blobs.
But whenever you start to layer, you don't want to touch. But that's also personal preference.
Yeah.
I've just done these so much that it's
She does.
second nature.
But yeah, I never have thought about layering one after another with your sponging. I actually have not done that. I've always like changed a color, so it's really cool to see like you've got your black as a base. Your denim blue or your dark blue is going to
Yes.
sit down on top of your black in the first layer, and then it's going to build up to a brighter color that's actually in that jar.
Yes.
So this is the color that we're looking at, and
Yes.
it's just a nice almost navy.
Yes.
You know, it's not quite navy. It's
Not
just,
quite navy.
I don't know. What did you call that color? It's almost navy.
I would say I like the denim. The denim
Okay.
is a good
The
description.
denim.
Cool.
When I looked it up, it said that some of the main colors, she doesn't even have to paint.
I
I'm
don't
the
even
same
have to
way.
paint to get paint on me. How about
That's me.
anybody out there in Facebook land feel the same way? Because that is me.
We have a question from Peg. Peg asked if you could use a larger sponge.
Yes, absolutely. I've actually got a larger sponge, and I'll show you what I do
think
with it later.
the thing with the sponge is with this is a specific sea sponge. Like this sponge really
This would
isn't
not
going.
work.
This would not really
it's
work.
not
I
going
use
to be the
natural
same thing.
sponge.
Even this hard one probably.
If you would have to mess with it, work
Yeah.
with it a little bit. But this end here, I don't
It's
know if
pretty,
you can zoom
yeah.
or whatever you want to do.
I actually have-
this end would help really well.
This is my favorite Home
love that
Depot
guy.
sponge because of how open it is. But sometimes if you get it saturated, this can be like floppy.
Yes,
So you
it's
could
right in front
trim
of you.
him. So don't be afraid to cut your sponge up and like give it more interesting pockets.
Yep. So I'm gonna go in with the tan,
Okay.
and I'm
So
gonna
we
do
have
the same
a
thing.
kind of a khaki-ish, not very
Yeah.
warm tan color.
Yep, and I'm gonna start over and do the other
I
side.
love this.
And you kind of go in with the blue,
Okay. So you
Well,
are
you-
layering over the blue to make it kind of
just
almost a different
slightly,
color.
and you'll
Okay.
also, I'll show you that later.
Okay.
But And then with these, sometimes if I'm not liking how it looks, I'll just kind of move the sponge and give it a new look.
When I used to paint murals back in the sponged wall days, I don't know if you guys are even old enough to remember that, but it used to be like you'd sponge a wall. I would do I used big sponges like that, and I would do the thing, and you would rotate your sponge around so you found the beautiful part of your sponge. So don't be afraid to find, like, that might be not very interesting, but this side might be really interesting.
Yeah.
It will just depend, honestly.
Yeah, it's
This is looking really pretty.
and sometimes when I'm
And I noticed that you're pushing a little harder and twisting.
I'm twisting just a little bit
Yeah.
because it is a lighter color and it kind of helps with that
Blends
layering.
the edges
It
just a
helps
little
to-
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So then
I feel
while
like
I'm
an
doing this-
NFL announcing team person. You know, that guy that sits over in the booth with. Can I have a headset with a microphone? Because
we would need to turn your microphone off now.
So whenever I get this initial side done, I'll start kind of bringing him over.
Ooh, okay. And you're not reloading water.
No.
Okay.
If I feel like I need to, you can tell, like if it starts to feel really, really dry or really almost like a thick feeling,
Yeah, yeah.
then you might want to redo it. But I usually don't need to.
That's really cool.
But if you did need to.
Like, I am learning so much already. And I feel like you're making some organic shapes here.
And then you kind
Like
of
a
go
little
back
bit of a
in
flow.
with your blue and you
Like
kind
a
of
blendy blend.
Yeah, you kind of just blend him out in
Yeah.
certain spots. And I'm gonna go over here with.
Did you see, guys, how that like dreaminess already started picking up? And then that's gonna be the foundation for the next thing that happens. And then now she's doing the blue, like, I don't know, like NFL
You are.
Yes.
announcer,
Taking
whatever that
it.
thing's. What's that called? What's that guy called?
That's an announcer.
Okay, I'm an
Definitely-
announcer.
It's an announcer.
LOL. I've never done this before, but I play one on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, so now she's using the blue overneath the white.
Underneath.
Because you have to be underneath. If you're
You're
not
layering.
underneath, you're
When you're
underneath,
layering.
and then there you are, right? Everywhere you go, there you are. This is the philosophical Facebook Live, guys. Literally, I've only had a half a cup. Okay,
She just doesn't know what to do with herself since she's not painting.
She's not painting.
painting.
She's talking for me, but she has no idea what to say because she can't read my mind just yet.
I can't, but
I'm
I
sorry.
am interpreting your movements, and
Yes.
I am loving it. I am learning actually quite a bit because when I'm doing like a sponging thing, like I'm going to put more and more water, but I didn't realize that you could actually blend the paints like this, and they look gorgeous. And actually, I think you're working way less hard than I work.
Yep.
When I'm doing it. So I think that this is a great technique.
when I started doing this, it was taking me
Forever.
2 hours just to do the background. But
We will not be here 2 hours.
we're not going to be here 2 hours, guys.
No.
I've gotten it down to kind of
She's got a system.
science.
Well, what I love about it is this system applies.
It can go with anything.
You're
really.
using a black and white. You're using at least white consistently, right? Are you using black as your base consistently?
Yes.
Okay.
I have done white. Well, not quite.
The cancer one, I think, was
Yes,
white
it
because
was-
it's really light
Yes.
colors.
I wanted to do almost like a pastel for cancer because it had a lot of pastel colors, like very, very like lilac and stuff like that.
Pretty. What's the cancer?
Crab.
It's a crab.
No, but what's the birth month?
It is
Somebody tell us.
June.
You can check your newsletter for today.
June to
because it's
mid-July, almost end of July.
Okay, gotcha. So it's that bathed in the sun kind of thing. Like
Yep.
it's the summer. Yeah, summer's
Yeah.
going to be those beautiful.
Cancer is June 21st to July 22nd.
Yes, because my birthday is the very end of July and it changes over to Leo.
Aha.
I want a little bit. And I always step back and kind of look at it and see how it's blending out because
Yeah, I think
just
that
gotta know-
step back stage is something that I picked up from when I was doing murals. I would get away from the wall because when you're right on top of it, you're too close. So get away from it. A neat trick that you can do is you can take a photo with your cell phone and then view it on your cell phone upside down, like just flip it over, and then it will show you things that your eye won't pick up when it's upside right. So that's a kind of a neat little trick.
yes, which you taught me that.
Ah! Yeah, so this is looking gorgeous.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait to try this.
I know.
Have you done one yet?
I have not.
I have not either. I think we've been telling Abby she has to share this with us forever and ever, and we've just not found the reason or the time and all the things. And then I don't know what started it, but we were like, we're doing it. We're just going to get it done.
Well, I think one of the great things about this, and it's one of the reasons that we love stenciling in the first place, is that, you know, you can do whatever you want. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. But, you know, with this, the background is really what you're building, and there's not a right and wrong.
There is not.
And if you want more of the cream, do more of the cream. If you want more of the blue, do more of the blue.
Yes,
and
exactly.
It's a galaxy. It's never
a galaxy,
gonna be,
right?
It's never gonna really. Oh, sorry.
And guys, if you are curious about the water bottle, and then we also have, so she's re-wetting her sponges.
Well, I'm actually wetting these. These are two that I
they're
hadn't.
dry ones?
Yes.
Yeah,
so-
gotcha.
Oh. And if water gets on it, it's perfectly fine. It will dry because you're already working with water.
Yeah.
I noticed while I was doing these that a little bit of black and white also helps draw stuff out.
It builds your base.
Yes.
Barb asked, and this might be an answer for another day. You can keep going. This is for you. How did the company start? All of your talents work so well together.
That's a very interesting question. So number one, I failed art in high school, so I think that's a really interesting point that I have an arts and crafts company, but failed art. And then I learned how to paint from books on painting, and I went from there. I just loved the craft of it, the building, just like what she's doing right here. Step by step, the building of making an image out of paint was just magic for me. And so I did that. And then I started teaching, and then from teaching, I made a website, and from making a website, we moved to Ohio so that we could build our online presence. Because I needed to have employees. I couldn't do it all myself. And I couldn't do that in Oregon, but housing was too expensive and all of that. So, and then we just started one by one. First person I hired was a shipper because I used to handwrite the labels, and my handwriting is deplorable. You can ask Carrie about that.
Patty is not allowed to write on the whiteboard.
We are not.
If she does, we have to decipher.
We have to decipher. Yeah, Morgan was writing a note the other day about something that was super cool, and she was like, and I'm like, oh, I think it says this. So yeah, you never want me to handwrite you anything. But that's basically how, and then it just built one step at a time, you know. But the website was interesting because, you know, the websites are, you can't have a store that does what we do because it wouldn't get Main Street traffic. So websites have been very liberating for businesses, for people who have ideas for businesses. I'm not even sure which one of these things I'm supposed to be looking at, so I'm just talking in general.
The Patty one.
I didn't know if I was visible.
No, yes.
I'm used to
scooch.
standing in the middle where I'm like, this is where you're going to talk, ladies. Stop looking around. But yeah, no, the websites have been super liberating. So support your small businesses. And I even do that if I have a choice of ordering from a ginormous, complex company, and I can go directly to the website that is the person or the people that are creating it, I will always go to that. Because the fees aren't there, and there's a whole bunch of things like that. But you're just supporting local, like you're supporting local for your niche, if that makes sense. I think that that's a weird way to look at it, but we're your stencil niche.
Yes, and I'm going to do a giveaway real quick. Angelina Baxter just commented and said that she saw a decal the other day. It said, "Make some magic today," and she thought of Patty.
Nice.
So, Angelina, you are going to win this welcome stencil with the cute florals, and this is one that is awesome that you can do by yourself, or you can do together. You can use these laurels on other things. So we will get your address, and we will send this to you.
And can I say on the welcome signs are one of the most popular stencils that we have. They are. It's a thing that everybody needs at their front door. It's a thing that everybody can make as a gift. It's a thing like that. So when you're thinking of like, what could I do for a housewarming gift? What could I do for grandma? What could I do for this? A welcome sign always works, and our stencils are reusable. And so you can use them over and over again. Oh my gosh, I was talking and look what happened.
So,
Abby, that's so pretty. You're welcome.
So I just took, while I was doing this, and you guys were talking, I took a sponge that had zero paint on it.
Okay, so like a blending sponge kind
Yes.
of. Yeah.
So I used it kind of like if you do makeup, it's kind of like a blender. And I just kind of, on certain spots to make it blend out, I also added a little bit of black into it, just kind of speckled through. And then I blended that out to give it kind of swirl and dimension. And then I added little whites in areas because whenever I go to do the splatter paint, that's where I'm going to make my main.
So you're setting a foundation,
Yes.
almost like a dinner plate.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm adding a little bit of the khaki back in, well, the light khaki back in just to kind of mute a little bit of the blue on this side.
Yeah.
This is what I'm working on now.
So Barb had a follow-up question, and she asked, when did you get started?
Basically, when my son Christopher was born, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was painting. My friend Kathy, this is so fun. My friend Kathy LeBlanc lives in Salt Lake City, and we've been friends since 30, we've been friends for 35, 36 years, something like that. But Christopher was born, we lived in Southern California, and she brought over a thing and said, I've always wanted to paint, here's a book, you try it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. I failed art in high school. And I sat down that night, my husband worked a third shift or a second shift, and so I waited for him to get home. And nighttime is adult time was my favorite saying with all my sons. But yeah, so I painted the thing. I got on my bike the next morning. I rode over to Kathy's house, and I'm like, Kathy, look, we can do it. And we started painting for craft shows the very next day, and our husbands bought scroll saws, and we did the thing. So it's just a fun story.
That is fun. All right, Abby,
This
what
looks
you got?
so darn good.
So I'm going to go ahead and do the splatter paint.
Ooh, I'm going to stand back.
Yeah, you might want to.
Spatter takes over everything.
Yes, so I'm sorry in advance. I usually, anytime I do these, I always hate it. I usually always hate it until I do the splatter paint because I'm like, I don't see a galaxy. I hate this. And then as soon as I
Line catastrophe.
put the splatter on it, I'm like, there it is.
Yeah.
It's perfect. So
So are we that close to the finish?
yeah.
Oh my Lanta.
Yep.
You guys, this is amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
So I'm gonna put,
Carol commented and asked, what size are we painting on? So this is a 15 by
Yes.
15. Her question also was, how large is the canvas you're painting on? Carol, this is MDF.
yes.
It is a surface that we offer on our website. So we are painting a 15 by 15, and then we're also using a 15-inch stencil once we get there.
Yeah, and then I think something that's important to say is like if you want to paint on canvas, you absolutely can. That's not a problem at all. Canvas has a little bit of a spring, so you're going to have a little bit of bounce when you do it. But you could also put like a book or something underneath your canvas to keep it from springing and bouncing and doing all the things. All right, tell us what you're doing.
I am mixing some white
You're
paint.
doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you. In some water. I just sprayed a little bit of water. I'm probably gonna do a tester over here to see how big my splotches are gonna be. If I found that if the paint's a little bit thicker in the water, I get smaller dots.
Yep, exactly right.
And so I want to start with smaller, and I usually try to keep it small. And I plan out where I want my batch to look. I don't know how many of you actually go online and look at galaxies like I do, but
We're unique in that way.
so I don't know how interested in space you are, but in galaxies, a lot of their centers are full of stars.
That's so fun.
So
I had no idea.
I usually start kind of close.
So she's hitting her loaded brush against a back end of another brush and did her strong stuff up through the big stripe that she started with.
Yes.
And then these littler spatters are diffusing a little bit. So
Yes.
they're almost a little bit like maybe a sparkly makeup or something like that that you would do. And then I'll let you talk.
Well, it's just as you see it. I try to make, like, here's my main. So I'm going to put a lot of the smaller in right in there. So it kind of gives, I just smack that. And so I'm going to grab some
So
more.
I'm going to ask you a question.
for it.
What would you do if you messed up? Like right now you did a big blob or you ran your brush through it. What would you do?
I usually try to get like a wet paper towel.
Okay.
and try to dab where it is. Or if I am in a moment of panic because
Yes, I've been there.
who I am as a person, I'll just grab it with my finger.
And there's that pre-COVID spit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
There's
when
that
we were
too.
allowed to use saliva back in the day. Remember that?
I do. But I am glad now that
I'm glad that we're not.
I'm for the sake of the click erasers. I'm glad that we're not both licking the click
Yes.
erasers.
That's actually a really good point. I actually only ever dip the click eraser these days, but boy, I used to do the thing.
Yeah.
Well, going to the grocery store right now is still just funny as crap. Because you go there and you're like, I want to bag the chicken, but I get the bag off the thing and I can't do the thing. I can't get the bag open.
Because you can't lick your fingers.
Yeah, because you can't lick your fingers. So then
rough.
It's so rough. It's so silly. Then I look for anything in the store that's got moisture on it, like a cocaine
Yes.
or something.
I'll be like, did they freshly spray this cucumber over here? Yeah.
Go to the produce section first, and you'll have moisture to
Yes.
do the thing. It's just ridiculous, the goofy things that we've had to
Yes.
learn. Look how pretty that is.
Lois asked, and I'm going to share the link to this. Lois asked what size of the brush this is that Abby's using. It is, it's called the Patty's Flower Filbert, and it is a number 12.
Yes.
So
the biggest one, yeah.
I will share that.
Yeah, and what I find is interesting, so when I'm spattering, I'm usually using the, whatever this white one's called.
The White Wonder.
White Wonder, thank you. And it's just got these shaped things. It'll make a more open spatter. And what Abby's doing today is she's making something that's a little bit tighter. And filling really nicely.
Yes.
Like that's beautiful. And so remember that your brushes can be multi-use.
Yes.
That makes a beautiful flower, but it also does gorgeous spattering. That we can see right here. It's beautiful.
Now it just dry.
Yes, so we're not going to actually stencil on this one today.
Yes.
Because it'll make
It's
a
going
mess.
to be a minute.
Why don't we go ahead and bring the black one over here?
Yeah.
And then let's just show like a basic of stenciling. You are such a good painter. Let's just use the stencil and show just stencil basics. I think that is a good place to be, and you can do it any color that you want.
On the galaxy backgrounds that I've done, we include on the stencil the stars, but not always do I paint them.
Yeah, that's a good
So
idea.
that is another option if you're like, that's not going to look right. Because you can tell on this one, I don't know where you want me to put it, Rusty. But
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
right.
there you go. Okay.
Yeah, and actually,
I
guys,
didn't
there are
actually
4 cameras. There's one here, one there, one there, and one there. It's so many cameras.
I actually didn't paint the stars that come around him.
Yeah.
I did them on the inside here just for the added.
Yeah.
But I didn't do the stars that we have because of doing the splatter paint.
Yeah, and it really, that's what I love about stenciling is you can totally decide what you want to include and what you want to exclude.
Yes.
You know, on your stencil. So
quick
not
tip
have to-
from Darlia, and you're going to love this.
Darlia, I love you.
She uses her hand sanitizer that she brings in her purse to help open the bags.
Oh, Darlia! Good idea, because I have one of those like zip tied literally to my purse.
My mom has
Zip
the
tie, of all things.
what are those? I don't know. Like it's for paper. It's pink.
Yes, that you use.
Yeah,
to
get the grip.
The thummy
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
My mom carries that in her purse.
Such a good idea too. Darlia, good tip.
Yes.
Oh my.
Only options.
Yeah, no, that's great.
All right. So I'm gonna do white.
Yes, yeah. White will show all the mistakes.
Yes.
So, and Abbey is a seasoned veteran. When we do our boutique and stuff like that, we have. She's a seasoned veteran who can throw brushes.
Really good at it.
Same as me. I'm very good at brush throwing.
It's
You know
the best talent I
axe
have.
throwing places? We ought to have a brush throwing place. Wouldn't that be fun?
I'd nail it every time. That'd be good.
It's so fun. Anyway, Abbey has taught at our retail shop for years and years, and she usually spearheads our special events and things like that. So we get 250 people coming through the doors, and she will sit them all down and get them painting. That we just do little quick painting things,
Yes.
just as a first Friday kind of thing, almost like an art walk in your city. And we do that, and oh my gosh, just a seasoned pro at everything. So tell us what you're doing and what's different about stenciling that you think would help a beginner.
I do swirling, I sometimes will stipple only if I feel it's necessary.
And when would you think that it would feel necessary?
If I need a little bit more coverage.
Yeah, same.
If I'm like, it's not getting covered the way I want it to.
I'm going to be here for a month of Sundays.
Yes. I was actually painting a sign earlier before I did this one. And I was having issues with orange, even though I did a masking on it.
Yes.
So I had to stipple to make that orange
bolder.
Yeah. So then I could actually swirl on it after. So.
Yeah, and the swirling after, when you stipple to cover, you can swirl after, and the swirling after will help everything it's almost like doing that powder set of your makeup.
Yes.
It'll help it all blend together.
Yes.
Barb asked, Abby, can you hold this brush up to Dustin's camera, please? She was asking to see the
So see how it's
brush.
domed and very dense, very, very dense,
Yes.
which makes it not crush and shove the paint under the stencil.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, they're amazing brushes. And
Thank you so much, Abby.
everybody that comes into our boutique where we do the paint and cork and canvas kind of, but with stencils and boards.
Yes.
Everybody that comes in uses the dome brushes, and they have such good success, and they come
Yes.
home with a beautiful thing that they can actually hang on their wall. And stencils make art easy, and it makes beautifying your house and your life easy.
Yes.
Makes great gifts, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I believe.
Our biggest thing is they always say that they're not very
Please
good.
give her something to paint.
Give me something to drink so I stop singing. You never want me to sing, ever.
So now Abby is
Yes.
she's going on to her second coat.
Yes.
So this is a very quick, with this one especially, the background is what is the time consuming piece of
Yes.
this. And then the stenciling of this project
Fast.
is
It's
very
so
fast.
super fast.
Yeah.
And on some of them, if you guys go and look at the ones I've already done, I did do like gold metallic paint. And I've done silver on a couple of them. And the only reason those have the metallic paint compared to the ones that have the white paint was because gold was in that Zodiac color scheme.
If any of you have watched Lena paint, Lena says this almost every time she does a video for us. She says that stencils is a layers game. And if you notice what Abby's got going on here, super soft layer with another super soft layer on top. And you can go so fast because the layers are drying instantly. You're never going to blow dry on it if you're doing super fine layers.
I like to say it looks like chalk on a chalkboard.
Yes, it does. It's a good analogy.
And as you put layers onto it, the darker it gets. Whenever I teach classes, that is the first thing, because I do a lot of the younger kids and teenagers.
Kids. Oh my God.
And they listen, and
that's
it
because
always
you're
looks good.
amazing. I just want to say it again.
Yes.
You guys give her some hearts.
I'm a little loud too when the kids are in the store.
You can definitely.
They like to pay attention to me whenever I'm in there.
You can tell. So, mama boys. You can definitely tell the moms of boys because we're always going to be the ones with the piercing. You know, the oh my God, don't cross that street noise. You know, kind of thing. You know.
Don't do that.
People who are at work that just heard me like raise my voice. I'm really sorry.
Yes.
Carolyn asked, how did you get to Gal Police?
Oh golly, golly bum
How did
jingles.
Gal Police figure into your life?
So I'm an Army rat, and I've moved 40 times in my life, and I know what I've learned is that you have things called jet streams, and the weather can make or break a place for you. And Portland was kind of a broken place for us because it is very gray a lot of the year, and my husband gets very dark during the winter. We call him the anti-Ted during the winter months. And when we
like
were
the anti-Ted.
anti-Ted, he's so grumpy. He's so grumpy.
He's my
And
spirit
do you-
animal
do
in the
you
wintertime.
think- Do you think he would take vitamin D? No. So I'm like, vitamin D, here's you some salmon, here's you some salmon, here's you some salmon. Oh. Anyway, but so when we needed to move, I researched the country and I found what I call the sweet spot, which is in Southeast Ohio area. And there are not very many. I'm not going to say no because I'm going to just be like knocking on some wood here.
I don't trust it now that you said it.
You know, we don't have common earthquakes. We don't have common hurricanes.
We don't have alligators.
We don't have alligators.
No, well, and we were talking about
Yeah.
the weather before we started this, and about how
The weather
kind
has
of
been
like
fun.
insignificant this area is. There's no, I mean, thankfully that we love it, but it has
quiet, perfect seasons, and literally, usually when the snow falls, usually in Southeast Ohio, it falls on the grass and it sticks there, but it melts on the roads and it melts on the sidewalks, and it literally feels like Camelot in a way. You know, there's a song. Those of you who are older will know that song. I don't mean older. I feel like I just was mad.
Bad pattern.
I'm older. Okay, my age. Okay, but no. So, but Southeast Ohio doesn't have all these things. It has water because we're right on the river, and it also has hills and mountains and things like that because we're right across from West Virginia, and so we're just in this perfect little sweet spot where you have a little bit of everything. And Ted, since he's moved here, has not been the anti-Ted in the winter because we go snow one day, sunshine and snow the next day.
Except
rain
for this
one
year.
day, sunshine and rain the next day. You know, like we every other day. Like if you want that, wait until the weather changes. Super applicable here.
Darlene asked, "How is Lena?"
Lena is amazing. She is okay. So. Little baby, I'm going to switch to little baby Leo. Lena's amazing. Lena's doing awesome. She's working into getting her mom working job, teacher, life, kids going and doing all the things. She's been working on everything right now. So she's great. She was at the house just the day before yesterday. But little Leo is 13 months old now. If you guys have followed, that's amazing that is that case. But he wanted to go home. It was 6:30. He wanted to go home, and so he brought his vest and his coat. He went and found it in the closet. He brought his vest and his coat, and he brought it to his mother and said, "We're going home now." You're basically 13 months old. Who does this? You know, so yeah, he's adorable and amazing. Everybody's doing great. Chris is doing great as well. So.
And Chris was on here a little while earlier.
Christopher.
All right, so Abby, what layer are you on now?
I'm probably on layer 4 or 5.
Layer 4 or 5.
Because I do really light layers and layers.
Well, that's why it
show.
works. Let's show Dustin on his camera over here. Yeah, so look at perfection. Like, look at how awesome and amazing that is. And I think that's the difference in the really light layers. You guys, if anything that you took away from this, besides this gorgeous backgrounds, is stenciling is a layers game, and you will be successful if you spend some time on your paper towel. Now, I want to talk about how you're wiping off, because I do like a circly thing.
I go back and forth.
I do the same thing Abby does.
Okay.
And I think it's just because
I taught her.
I think it's working really well.
I go back and
think
forth.
I need to start doing that.
And
I'm
Lena
gonna
does
try.
that too.
Okay, I'm going to try
And
that.
I probably learned it from Lena. So thanks, Lena.
Thanks, Lena.
Thanks.
Nobody taught me.
I said that like I didn't
guys.
mean it, but I did mean it. I was like, thanks.
Well, we have all been secretly doing something different than Patty, and we're like, we're not swirling off. We're just
Well, no. So I think that's
It's trying to hide it from you so you don't
really
see it. It's like
important that I see that, because I think what I'm noticing on here is you've done 4 or 5 layers and you're still in this same little patch of your paper towel. So the efficiency of your paper towel is so much better.
Yes.
So I am trying that the very next thing I paint.
And then it's not so thick. Well, I've got paint on the back of this one now, but
I think I did
it's
that
not
with
so
my hands.
thick. But it's not so thick, and you can flip it over and use it for your next color.
Nice. I hate the waste of paint and the throwing away of the things.
I am always about trying to use it until it's dead.
Yes.
Like
I love this. I am definitely all in. I'm trying it.
yeah.
You guys, so new technique is rub back and forth and don't swirl.
Yeah.
Don't do what I do.
Don't do it.
Do what she says.
well, it doesn't not work.
Well, it works. It's
It
just,
works.
It
It's
feels
just
wasteful,
it's something.
I think.
It's something to try.
And then how are you
differently.
picking up your paint? Can you pick up a blue and then wipe it for me?
So
So
I
let's just like learn from
I
this.
just kind of tap it to the
So you're
side.
tapping
taps
a little
off.
bit
And then
over
I-
here. Nice. Okay, so it's just such a. And so when I'm doing it, so I'm going to show you guys the difference. I'll go swirl here, and I don't usually go over here.
No.
So I feel like that might be a good paper
I
towel saver.
always tap to the side because then I can always come back to this because there's always a little bit
bit
still
to
wet,
pick up.
and then
Yeah.
I can just pick it back
Yeah.
up.
You guys,
and then
Epiphany Day.
just tap a little bit off, and then I can go right back in because
So
I didn't pick as much up
Here's
as the
me,
first time.
right? I'm like, look at how much more space mine takes up than this. This is, and then when you do it again, are you like on top of
So
that?
I usually go I always pay attention. I'm like, I can probably do that another time.
Ah,
But
nice.
then if I start noticing that the paper towel starts to pick up, then I'm like, go to the side a little bit.
Yeah, and Bounty has changed their formula a little bit. They're not as sturdy as they used to be, but But the fact that you can just walk that down, and
Yeah.
that is the only white area that you've done, that's magic. And I think a big part of it is this stipple off to the side there is taking
which
a lot of that
is
off.
what Lena taught me to
that's great.
dab it and then dab to the side because it gets a lot of that excess paint off.
So this is what I love about having guest people come in and teach us, because Abby has painted for us for years and years and years, but I don't stop and pay attention. Hey, Abby, what you doing? How you painting that? You know, because I know she knows how to paint. So I don't watch it.
Usually, if you're coming over, you're like, "Guess what I just learned? Guess what I just learned? Let me show you.
Watch this cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, I need to be more an input person than an output person. Okay, so, but what we're going to say about this is take a moment and watch other people paint. Get on the YouTube videos, do that kind of thing, because you can learn so much. One change of rubbing on a stripe like that is like a deal maker. Like, that's amazing. That's brilliant. Now, can we switch from here and go back to the background board and just kind of wrap it up a little bit and talk about the differences in colors and what you would do to change your colors, like any advice that you'd have to make a different one. That looks so good.
It does.
I can actually move
really
this.
Yeah.
So
this is the one we learned.
this is the one you guys learned. I always just, whenever I do them, I always kind of look up online. I cheat sometimes, and I'm like, denim and tan galaxies, so I can get an idea of how that could look, and then I base it off of that. So say you want to do a purple to pink, just purple and pink galaxies.
An example.
It's an example, and I'm like, I don't like how that galaxy looks, like how this one looks, but I like those colors, so I try to replicate from there.
So you can take a picture of a galaxy, and you can take a palette that you found on a different galaxy that you don't love the way they painted it, and then you can transpose them or overlay them, sort of.
Yes, and usually I don't even look up paintings. I look up actual galaxies. Is what I usually look up.
That is amazing. So are they really these different colors in the sky when you looked up the galaxy? Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
I can show you later.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to see it.
Look at all these saved photos.
On my phone. Here's my month-long research project.
Yes. It's
now
how
compare
it
it
looks.
to this, and then talk about your spattering and some of that kind of stuff. Like, what are the magic steps to make it just be like? What makes the board?
What makes it?
Yeah.
Winging it makes it.
Layering.
It's the layering. I say it's winging it, but it all plans out in my head as I'm doing it.
Right.
So it looks like I'm winging it, but I've thought it out as I'm painting it where I want things to go.
Gotcha.
And as I said before, I take the example from an actual galaxy I've seen on like Google. And like this is a different galaxy I saw compared to this galaxy that I saw.
Yeah.
And I always do layers. The layers are what make it.
Okay.
I did an entire one. It might have been Virgo. It's purple, and I used the same color purple the entire time.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
Crazy. That's amazing. Now, guys, I want to say, just because these are galaxy things does not mean that you can't take this and paint your boho sign on it.
You
or
can
your
put anything
whatever.
over it.
Yeah.
You don't have to just do the Zodiac.
No. That just was the project that inspired the
Yes.
whole backgrounds and stuff. But you've got a link to where they're all posted and stuff like that. So you guys want to definitely see where all of those are
Yes.
hosted. All right. Any last tips?
Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about having fun. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's my favorite part. Is it doesn't matter where you actually put it because you're going to build off of it no matter what you do. And if you really don't like a certain spot, just put more stars right there.
Good point. Just more spatter.
More spatter right in that spot you hate.
Hey, we got that right. You ready?
It's perfect. That's just how it goes.
All right, you guys.
All right. Make sure to like.
Do we have anything else to give away?
Nope, we're good.
Okay, we're good.
Like, comment, and share so
Yes.
that you can be entered into our grand prize giveaway. We will announce it tomorrow at around 1 p.m. Eastern. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have this fun tutorial coming up that I'm super proud of that I really want you to see.
Everybody give her lots of hearts because she really, really loves this one. It's
really pretty.
Yeah,
I really
it's
like it.
so gorgeous. Yeah, this is amazing. You're going to want to know how to do this foil.
Yes, I think so too. That's super easy.
Oh, incredible. It just makes such a difference. It changes it to a completely different
Well, and the thing I love about it is this is such a rustic sign.
Yeah.
And it's a rustic,
foil.
and then you add that foil. It kind of makes it a little bougie, a little fancy.
Bougie. Like a date night at Applebee's.
So it just works really well. And before we get off here, we're getting ready to leave. I would like to tell you guys, I just got a message from Steve, and he was complimenting Rusty and Dustin, who stepped in to help out today. So Rusty and Dustin, thank you. Abby, thank you.
Yes, thank you so
Patty,
much,
thank you. Full wine glass, thank you.
Oh,
And we will.
cheers, girl. See you guys.
See you Tuesday.